Hello there. I don't want you to look. I don't want you to look. Listen. Before I even start this, hi, honey, how are you? Listen. Before I even start Soultree Sunday, let me just tell you what's going on here, okay? Listen. My black girls, my sisters, y'all already know exactly what this phase of you need to get your hair done, old hair phase that we're in. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm trying to find a new braider, okay? Hi, y'all. I'm trying to find a new braider. Now, before y'all say, well, why won't you let your hair go natural? First of all, I'm not one of them people, okay? Any black girl that gets on here and tells you that going natural and staying natural is easy, it's not. My hair is only down to here, okay? Now you say that's a lot of hair. No, it's not. In natural hair terms, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Now, I have low porosity French Gullah Geechee Creole hair. It's soft, cotton candy, and unmanageable. It breaks very easily, and the bitch ain't got the time. So I'm trying to find a new braider because I paid $250. $250, huh? To get this in my hair, and I'm gonna tell y'all, it's just us here. Two of us, two of the braids slid out in the front 2 weeks into the shit. Yeah, my hair just, it'll slide clean off. It's great hair. It's great hair. I can't do it. So I'm trying to find a new braider. Now, I have a pretty big show, a comedy show, a Cinco de Mayo show at a black-owned club here in Tucson on Friday. Now, I'm trying to get my hair done quick, huh? Quick. Because this is my first show in front of a black audience. And one thing that a bitch won't do, okay, in this trans lifestyle, this kind of trans, is go before my people incorrect. I'm not trying to be the bitch up there on the stage like, and then here come this big bitch looking like an oak tree, huh? Hair looking like that, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that bitch. This is my first time being on a black stage doing comedy. So I'm really excited and I need to look right. Y'all are saying my allergies. I'm aware. I start my injections again next week, okay? Before we get into Soultree Sunday, somebody said, how are you? I have to be out of my house in 30 days. Because in case y'all don't know, my landlord is turning my home into a Section 8 house in order to get more money from the government. So I have to be out of here in 30 days. I have to raise $4,000. So that's how I'm doing. The job hunt, exactly where it's at. Yeah, 30 days. I don't know. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for Soultree Sunday. Let's get into this. My name is Zoe. My pronouns are she, they. I'm a biological man. You calling me, I don't care what you call me. My pronouns are she, they. But you can call me he, she, it. I don't give a shit just as long as you call a bitch back. As long as you're here, tap the screen and like, huh? Follow me on the socials, wherever you'd like to. Instagram, that's Sluts on Stilts. That was my name in Bible camp. Follow me on YouTube. This live will be there after. I talked about this on, and you're probably wondering what a Soultree Sunday is. When I was in college the first time, so I've been in college twice. When I was in college the first time, 13 years ago, my good college sister and I, we would get together every Sunday, and we would illegally drink wine in our Christian college, and we would just talk about sex, the world, politics, religion, all those kinds of things. A Soultree Sunday is a place where you can just find rest. Whether you're getting off work, going to work, thank you for inviting me into your space. I'm honored to be a part of your space today. So let's do this. I talked about this on Friday, and I need to make this like a weekly thing, like my weekly reminder sometimes, because I got a phone call, got a text the other day, text the other day from a friend of mine, and he was saying that he was tempted to engage in self-harm and a self-harming behavior. He wanted to take his life. And he said, I need to talk to you because I need some help. I said, got you. What's going on? And he explains to me, it's about life. Life. The cost of food. His girlfriend. His relationship with his girlfriend. His job. His money don't go nowhere. Huh? He's trying to find a place to live too. Trying to find a new car. Emotionally stressed out, financially stressed out. He said, and I just can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. He said, and I need your help. I said, okay. So keeping it a stack, I'll tell you exactly what I said to him. I said, sometimes your reason for living, your purpose that you use to keep going in life, sometimes your get up and go has to be intangible. He said, what do you mean? I said, if you could touch your reason to live, if you could touch your reason for going on, I think you'll break it. I think sometimes we'll break it. Now on the inverse, I tell you this because sometimes your reason to live is your dog. Sometimes it's your relationship. Sometimes it's getting into that dream school or that dream job. You put your dominoes of life into that dream relationship. You put your reason to thrive into your mother. You put your purpose into your career. You put your love and all of your light into your children. You put your purpose there. Now what happens, God forbid, if your dog gets hit by a car? Then what? What happens when that friendship comes to an end and they move away? What happens when that family relationship falls apart because you got healed from trauma and they didn't? Then what? What about your purpose to live, right? And all those people said, we're going to be here in your corner. Disappear. What happens when you get fired from the job? Then what is your purpose to live for? What if your purpose to live is your religion and your religion kicks you out? What if it's your Dungeons and Dragons group? And you forgot to bring the clam dip. So now you're not invited anymore. I say that to say this. Your purpose for living at times has to be intangible. Sometimes it has to be principle. You can't touch principle. Your integrity, it may materialize into things. Your love and light materializes into great opportunities. You know what I mean? These intangible things. Your purpose sometimes has to be intangible. He said, what do you mean? I said, okay, let's make your trauma more personal. Let's make your reason for living a little more personal. Let's make it more catered to you. Say, for instance, you said that the reason why I wake up in the morning is integrity. That's it. And you say, well, why is it integrity? I said, well, the reason why I use integrity is because I was given a loan by a friend of mine, my best friend in the whole world. She said, I know you're going through this job thing. I'm going to give you a loan. Actually, she said a gift. I said, let's make it a loan. And I said, listen, there's no way that I could leave this earth without paying you back. Because I told you I was going to pay you back. Now, everyone knows in my life, in my circles, if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, because my biggest pet peeve is being called a liar. I'd rather beat my ass for the truth, not a lie. Now, I said, now let's make it more personal. The reason why that I want to pay people back their money is because my abusers are thieves, because my abusers are liars, because my abusers take without asking, because my abusers and my traumatizers have no fucking money. So what wakes you up in the morning? Integrity and spite. I can't touch spite, but I can get up for it. What do you mean? Your best revenge is being better than the people that hurt you. And I don't mean like some higher plane shit. You can use it that way if you want to. Please use it that way if you like to. This is specifically catered to your healing. My best revenge is being better than you. Let me tell you something. If my ex-husband was a piece of shit, if my ex-husband was an awful father, if my ex-husband was abusive with money, if that is the center right now of my healing, the crust of my trauma, what would wake me up in the morning is being better than that bastard. Let me tell you something. I show up for my kids better than my husband ever could have. I'm a better parent because my ex-husband was shit. I show up to these relationships and these familial offices as a parent. 120 fucking %. I woke up to spite him today. Let me tell you something. If the crux of your trauma right now, the piece of your pain that nobody is understanding, and they keep telling you, keep pushing, girl. You just gotta keep pushing, sibling. It doesn't worry, they're just pronouns. You don't have to, telling you to keep on pushing. And you can't figure out why. You put your foot on the floor, and the crust, the spearhead right now that is stopping you from getting up in the morning, and that's causing these manic episodes, these manic lows, and these manic self-depressant throw yourself off cliffs, Okay, I'm talking to you. If I knew that the spearhead of my trauma, if the focus of it was my mother, and my mother is a mean lady, single, alone, living alone in a back room, bitter and decaying, I would go out and stand in the sunshine on purpose. I would stand in the sunshine knowing that she can't for every ass whooping she gave me. I would make relationships because she's so fucking lonely. What woke you up this morning? Spite. Sometimes what keeps you going has to be the promise that you made to yourself. Sometimes it's anger. Sometimes being better than them is just loving yourself out loud. Sometimes I'm waking up because of guilt. And you're probably wondering, what? I'm getting out of bed because of guilt. What did it make you do? Sometimes guilt will make you get out of bed in the morning. My therapist said to me one time, he said, we say we have this thing about bad and good emotions when that's not true. There are no good or bad emotions. It's just what you do with them. What are you going to do with your guilt today? If the crust of your depression is guilt from abandonment, I would wake up to show up every fucking time, knowing that I am doing better than the folks that abandoned me. There it is. Peace is not an achievement. It's continuity. It's effort. Joying on purpose. If you can't find a reason to get up in the morning for joy, if you can't wake up for happiness, if you can't wake up in the morning, get out of bed and brush those teeth, for the new episode of that show you're watching, if you can't find a reason to get up because of your children, wake up for spite. Because sometimes your depression will tell you what you can do with yourself. Sometimes your active ideations become so active that they will tell you that you are a piece of shit. You will look at every commercial telling you that you are nothing. You'll turn on every song hearing that familiar sound that gives you the chills, like, this is what? You go back to old places trying to find joy, and you are no longer interested. It doesn't bring you interest. Let me tell you something. Sometimes getting up in the morning requires spite. To spite your trauma, to spite who abused you, to spite who fucked you over, to spite the people who fucked you over for the job, to spite yourself. Honey, grab yourself by the nape of your neck. Bitch, get your life together. Clean this motherfucking house. Sometimes you walk past that same pile of dirt every day because your executive dysfunction, the girls that get it, the girls that don't, won't let you. You're overstimulated by everything because you are so deeply triggered and stressed by things you can't control, and you are ready to get in the bed and end the shit. Let me tell you something. Think about the person who has hurt you the most and think about where they are now. Be better than them. Get the fuck up. Some days you have to get the big trash can. Sometimes you have to get the 40-gallon trash can and put it in the center of your living room and just to throw all the shit in there. The girls that get it, get it. The girls that don't. Because if you have a trash can that's been sitting in the middle of your living room floor, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Do your laundry, huh? Do it for spite. What is your alternative? Where is laying there contemplating this getting you today? Honey, think about it tomorrow. Think about it the next week. Honey, you can't be broke and depressed. Listen, if you're going to be broke and depressed, do it well. Let me tell you something. You're talking, I do this multiple times a week, a day sometimes. Thinking back on where my trauma told me I should be. Where my depression tells me where I can stick it. Where my flashbacks tell my dissociations to go. You driving past the same cliff every day, The cost of eggs sometimes may be your 13th reason. The cost of gas may be the final nail in your coffin. It don't even make sense. You losing your job was the cherry on top of the proverbial fucked up cake. What do you have to lose by waking up for spite instead of looking for something? Instead of looking for a reason to live outside of yourself, honey, you have to find it in you. Now, you can take that to any therapist, any preacher, and I will stand 10 toes down. Any person that tells you that your reason to live has to be outside of self is full of shit. Honey, it has to come out of you. You have to put that purpose on somebody else. You have to have the reason. You have to have the decision. You can add your dog to the list of reasons to live, hon. You can add it to the list. Add it to the list. Add the new season of House of Dragon season 2 to your list. I can't give up until at least April 2024. Now, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in between then, but every day in between that countdown, I gotta tell myself what to do. And sometimes it's a combination to get you out of bed in the morning. And sometimes your purpose may be just brushing your teeth and showing up to work. Sometimes showing up is just not quitting. Be an active participant in your life. You have to be an active participant in your life. Be an active participant in your life. If you can't find a reason to get up in the morning, make it spite. Spite your trauma, spite your abusers, despite folks that fucked you over, because in essence, they thought you were going to give up. Every scar you've ever gotten, look at. Something tried to hurt you and kill you, and you made it. Think about that. Look at your biggest scar on your body. Biggest scar you got. You survived that shit. Honey, sometimes waking up in the morning is I got to see it through. I just got to see it through. I'm not here. I'm in the final season of American capitalism. We're in the season finale. I'm not here to see whether the super inflation or shit. I just got to see this fucking through. I've got to see this through. I didn't do all this shit just to get here. If let me tell you something. If I was living in a 1-bedroom studio apartment, and the crux, my spiteful reason for living, for going on, lived in a mansion, I may not get to a mansion, but I bet you I'll be happier than you. Listen, I'm out to be so joyful that it shifts you, that karma just dumps on you. You'll be miserable in that mansion because my joy made me get up. See, spite brought you right back to joy. You woke up for spite in the morning, went back, got your LLC, started a business. Now you're joyful again. You got your whole degree with spite. Some of y'all are working with spite now. Some of y'all are working with spite now. Some of y'all just got a college degree just to spite your parents. Some of y'all are putting up your #1 Mom Award of the Year from the PTA, from spite, because your grandmother caregiver was awful. You see how it brings you joy? Every time you think about it, you're posting your child's accomplishments. I put that love back into my kids. The love you didn't give me, I put back into my relationship. Now my marriage is working great. My relationships are thriving. How are yours? Remember when you beat me and stuck my head between the washer and dryer, caregiver? Because Uncle so-and-so was coming over, I'm in somebody's house now. My relationship is great. 15 years, we're doing great. I did this in spite of you to spite you. Success to spite you. Gag them with grace. If you can't find a reason to get up in the morning, use to spite your trauma. Spite your abusers. Spite that old supervisor. Don't you think you owe it to the unhealed self in you that tried to die? Don't you think you owe it to that child in you that should have died? Don't you think you owe it to that teenager that tried to take your life? Don't you think you owe it to that little boy who was in the closet contemplating? Don't you think you owe a fuck you successfully, well, to everything and everybody that's hurt you? Honey, living well is healing. Living well is healing. I said living well is healing. Living well and healing is rebellion. That is better than your traumatizer. Trust me. If you think if you think that by not passing on your abuse to somebody else, knowing that you have been conditioned to do that. Now, let me close this because I've been on here too long. I don't like keeping y'all here for too long. Let me tell you something. Let me remind you of who you are real quick. I want you to think back to that scar when you first got it. I want you to think back to when you first started healing your trauma. Don't stay there long. And I want you to think about where you could have been, where you should have been, where you would have been, and where you are. Now, if where you're trying to get to is a place of betterment, there's your purpose. I'm just trying to be better than me. I think about this a lot. Everything that has ever happened to you has created dimensions of people that you could be. My best friend reminds me of this every now and then. She said, you should be an awful person. She said, you should be an awful person. And that's saying it lightly. She said that I should be a murderer. She said, you're not. You're not. Instead, you choose to do this. You're correct. This is a choice. Because societally, I should be on euphoria. I should be in prison like other siblings of mine. 2 of my siblings are on drugs. They're strung out. I am the only one of my siblings to have a college degree. I am the only one that graduated high school. I am the only one that left my hometown. And I have 9 siblings. 9. Where you should be, where you could have been, where you are, there are alternate versions of you that are waiting for you to be that. There's somewhere in the universe, somewhere that is awful. Spite that. Spite the person that you could have been. Spite the person that you should have been. Spite the person that you would have been by being better than those images, huh? You don't have to be better than me. I learned this really early. You don't have to be better than anybody else. You have to be better than you. The only race you're running is from your former self as your current self, being who you've always wanted to be. I'm not competing with you because I don't have to. I have to be better than me. I have to. I have to be better than I was yesterday. And maybe better than yesterday is different for everybody. It is a subjective thing. Your healing belongs to you. It's always you versus you. Look around you at friends, associates who were in the same situation as you were that didn't make it. Put that on your list of reasons to go on today. A cousin of mine was abused, like I was. We were in the same house. And I had gotten out, and he had stayed. His mother was on drugs and couldn't get him out of there. He went to our childhood corner store and, trigger warning, shot the store owner dead, point blank in the head twice. He dissociated. He has no memory of the day at all. None. Let me tell you something. Where I should be and where I could be are 2 different places. And the place that I am is here with you. Okay? In closing, Soultree Sunday, I'm asked why I do this and why I chose to devote my life to trauma healing and advocacy and stuff like that. Because I made a decision that if I can just live just as this person, and this is an act of bravery, then you can just be yourself too. If a child could survive and endure childhood sexual trauma from the ages of 3 to 8, if you can deal with things like that, if that's your first start at life, that was your first start, let me tell you something, honey. I'm telling you, we can do this together. We can do anything. We can do anything. Anything. I used to look out in the crowds and I wanted people to smile. I used to wish that there would be somebody in these comedy shows that would smile during these open mics. And I stopped looking. I stopped looking for smiling people in the crowd, because I don't need you to smile at me. I think I'm funny, but I wanted to be the smile in the crowd. that was looking at the performers though. I don't need you to smile at me, but I'll definitely smile at you. A few young ladies in Tucson have started doing comedy, and they said that it was because of me that they started doing comedy, because they feel safe and comfortable. And yes, I am funny. That's the whole point. I want you to get up here. You do it. I want to be the smiling face that you see in there. If there's a whole crowd full of stone faces, I'm not going to be one of them. I don't have to be. And you're probably not funny, but that's not the point. It costs nothing to give kindness. Maybe the reason to put on your list for living today is I went to a comedy show open mic and I saw this lady smile at me, and that just made me, so I came back next Tuesday. My purpose for living was to come back to this open mic until I felt better enough. Right? Okay. We can do this, and if you can't do it alone, I promise you, there's help here. There's help all in these comments, I'm pretty sure. We're in this together, and we're doing this together. Don't give up yet. If you can't find a reason that's tangible, that you can touch, like your dog or your mother or that phone call to a best friend, make it something intangible for your immaterial soul. Spite, anger. Trust me, it'll bring you around to joy. Thank you for inviting me into your space. I'm Zoe. Follow me on Instagram at Sluts on Stilts. YouTube, this live will be on YouTube. I'm gonna put the whole thing on there as the live downloads on my YouTube channel. Links in the bio. Thank you for your love and light and prayers for this job thing. Hopefully in 30 days I'm not homeless, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Love yourself. Love other people. There's only one planet. Please be kind to yourself. I don't know why I'm harping on that today. Please be kind to yourself. Please stop blaming yourself for things that you can't control. You're blaming yourself from things from 27 years ago, honey. Let that shit go. The most embarrassing thing in your life, probably no one remembers but you. Think about that. Probably your most embarrassing thing people don't think about as much as you think they do. People don't think about you as much as you think they do. And that's a blessing. Trust me. And if ain't nobody told you this shit today, I love you. It's been a while.